Greetings, folks. Euler here. Today's replay is going to share what I think are some good examples of using radio location to successfully land torpedo hits. This is a match that I had in the Tier 10 U.S. Navy destroyer, the USS Gearing. I am in a division with Angry Ace, who is in the premium Tier 10 U.S. Navy battleship, the USS Ohio, and we are in an all Tier 10 domination match on Okinawa. There are no aircraft carriers, but there is quite a bit of radar. Now, my build in the Gearing focuses on late game support with survivability expert and superintendent. Obviously, I have radio location. I mount the 16.5 kilometer torpedoes available to the Gearing, and I take the torpedo tubes modification 3 upgrade and slot 6 or faster reload on the torpedoes. I don't have the Gearing's legendary upgrade yet, but I expect that once I do have it, I will start using it. Now, we have successfully chased off the Shimakaze that came to Alpha, and I'm going to drop into some smoke here, so hopefully I don't get reset too often by the opponents. But I've got to get my stern pointed toward the Shima in anticipation of the torpedoes that were in fact coming. And I am going to avoid the torpedoes and stay in the cap, and I will secure the cap. Now, I do need to get out of my smoke here as soon as I can for a couple of reasons. One is there could be more torpedoes coming because we only saw 2 sets from the Shima, at least that I saw. And also, I'm denying my team's visibility on a lot of the opponents that are on the northwest side or northeast side of Alpha, excuse me. I will get the Alpha cap here. In fact, you can see somebody is pinging on the map that there's all these opponents on the northeast side of Alpha. I will get this cap, and then I'm going to go and do some more spotting for the team. The Shimakaze is going to slip back into Alpha here in just a moment. In fact, there he goes. I'm going to send torpedoes based on my radio location. This is not going to be one of the successful torpedo strikes because the Shima is actually moving across the north edge of the cap. And so my torpedoes, that set of torpedoes I just sent, are going to miss. And then I'm going to make a major mistake here. So please do as I say here and not as I did. And I'm going to attempt to go and hunt down the Shima. Now, the Shima has a couple hundred meters concealment on me. And normally I would be able to win a gunfight here pretty handedly. But he's backed up by a lot of his teammates, including at least one radar boat. And while he does drop smoke that puts me back into concealment, I am going to get radared here, and that radar is going to stay up for a long time. So either it is 2 ships that sort of stack their radar one after the other, or it might have been that the Worcester that is on the northeast side of Alpha had the legendary upgrade, which extends the consumable action time, or maybe the surveillance radar special upgrade, or both. But either way, I am radared for much longer than I would have expected. I am being targeted by 4 or 5 opponents, including the Shima. I did send torpedoes, partly based on the radio location, but also based on where I saw the gunfire coming from in the smoke. And I am going to land a torpedo on the Shima and take him out of the match, which is great and all, but I've paid for it with 3/4 of my life. So that was not, in my opinion, a good trade. I still could have sent the torpedoes without necessarily being exposed to radar or being exposed as long as I was. And like I said, I'm down to literally only about 20% of my normal health. And this is way too early in the battle for myself to be so wounded. It is going to seriously compromise my ability to gunboat other opposing destroyers. Well, obviously other destroyers. I'm not going to gunboat my allies, as Angry Ace would point out. But this is, I paid for it, like I said, with too much of my health for that trade to get the Shima out. So we do have this cap, and you can see that many of our allies are here at Alpha, and our Only has gone off to basically get himself killed. We just lost our Yamato, and we're going to lose our Henri. And basically our team is already going to be down 2 ships to the opponent, or I'm sorry, down 4 ships to the opponent's 2. In fact, we just lost our Worcester. The Venezia takes them out, and there goes the Henri. So we already have a huge ship deficit, and I have Angry Ace here on my port side, and I'm going to head south to do some more spotting because we don't have anything that is we have visibility on that's really south of Alpha, and I also need to see if I can try to torpedo some of the opponents that are moving up from the north so that I can delay their progress as well, and also hopefully do some capping. Now, our Kurfürst does take down the Kremlin, which is good. So that brings us to a two ship deficit. Here I get detected by a full health Daring, and this is again not a fight I want to get into. First of all, the Daring is a very good gunboat, and secondly, my health is very poor. But you can see that based on where I predictively sent my torpedoes, the Daring sailed into them. Although he did make a sort of a fatal turn there, but I did send my torpedoes based on where the radio location was pointing to at the time, and I was able to successfully land a torpedo and take out the Gearing, or the Daring. Excuse me. I'm gonna pass by here from the Kurfürst. We can expect torpedoes from the Daring, and in fact, the Kurfürst is going to take one torpedo, but I will obviously be able to avoid them. Angry Ace is able to take down one of the Kurfürsts on the opposing team. And so again, we're back to, actually we're even on the ships at this point. We're actually quite close on points, but I need to try to do some back capping. I'm in no condition to be detected. We have, actually there's two Des Moines on the team, and here is the other Gearing. So this is the third of the three destroyers on the opposition. He's running with no camo, so I detected him first. I am out of smoke, so I have no counter, and so I'm just having to do the best I can to try to kite away. I hope that his gunnery isn't too good, but as luck would have it, I am going to land a torpedo on the Gearing and take him out. So two devastating strikes. I've taken out all three of the opposition's destroyers, which is great and all, but we're losing ships way too quickly. We're down to 4 ships on our team, for 6 on the opposing team. And like I said, I'm in no position to try to engage the two Des Moines that are in Bravo. So I've accelerated the replay here because not too much happens on my perspective. I do send, again, some predictive torpedoes here in the direction of where my radio location indicates, and I'm anticipating that both of the Des Moines are moving through that narrow channel in the middle of Bravo, and I am indeed going to land one torpedo on one of them. And as I'm sprinting here over to the Charlie Cap, there's the torpedo hit. And I'm just trying to get over to Charlie to back cap. Now, I sent some more torpedoes, a little less about the trying to be predictive on the torpedoing with the radio location, more just an anticipation that if one of the Des Moines decided to turn around and try to come back through that channel, I might be able to hit him. We are now brought it down to a 3-on-2 situation, and I'm just about to get the Charlie Cap, and then I've put it back to a normal speed. So it's just me and the Stalingrad. The Stalingrad is on the north side of Alpha. He's facing the entirety of the opposition. He does take down the Worcester, and so it's now a 2-on-2, but we have a huge point deficit. I'm going to go and do my best to obviously get Bravo, try to at least slow their point advance, and hope, but unfortunately we do lose the Stalingrad, so it's just me, and I'm going to go slip in here. Now my biggest risk, frankly, is the Des Moines. We do have the Storm Mechanic in place, so if the Des Moines detects me, or if I detect the Des Moines and under the current conditions, the Des Moines is going to know that I'm spotting him, and I'm going to be automatically within his radar range. Now, I am setting torpedoes here, again, predictively, to the west side of Alpha, based on where the radio location is pointing to. And I'm moving over onto the east side of Bravo so that if the Des Moines comes down and does radar, hopefully I have enough cover that I can avoid being struck by any shells. And I am going to get this cap here in just a few seconds. But let's keep an eye on that second set of torpedoes that I sent toward the west of Alpha. You can hear from the cue the music that we're winding down here. I do secure Bravo. But I am going to land 3 torpedoes from that second set that I sent. There they go. But I know that since I landed 3 torpedoes without sinking something, that means I have to have hit the Conqueror. Because I don't expect that a Des Moines would be able to survive, even a full health Des Moines, to be able to survive 3 torpedo hits. And unfortunately, I am going to get chased out by the Des Moines, and we are going to lose this match. But it was a really good match. I get over 2,100 base XP, which would have been over 3,000 if this had been a win. So kind of a tough loss, but a good example of using predictive torping, using radio location. So I hope you found the replay and the commentary interesting. Please do leave your comments below. And as always, we hope to see you out there, and we wish you happy sailing.